Hello and welcome to my review on Transformers Crossover NFL Tundra Prime, aka the Green Bay Packer helmet dude. So, once I saw this guy listing, I immediately pre-ordered him. I am a huge Packers fan, huge Transformers fan, so this is basically a gift just made for me from Hasbro. All jokes aside, this thing is pretty decent. I do like it quite a bit. But first, we'll take a look at this pretty cool packaging here. We got the helmet mode, which is pretty nifty. And we got Tundra Prime, which is pretty cool. Of course, Packers get the Prime because Packers are the best team. And we got the NFL. And we got a official NFL sticker. Ooh, so shiny. Look at that shine. Anyway, moving on to the back. He does all this stuff, goalpost, all that cool stuff. Crossover, and I don't really care much more about it. Let's get on with the figure itself. Now here he is, throwing a little pass. Yeah, he's pretty cool. It'd be cool if the Packers actually won this season, but we had to lose to the Bears. Still a little salty. If there's any Bears fans in the comments, I'm going to kick you out. No, I'm joking, but yeah, no, not a great season for us, but it was all right. Taking a closer look here, we have a little football. It's kind of weird how he holds it. He's just got a peg on the side of his arm, and then it goes into this football. So he doesn't really hold it. He kind of just magnetizes to it and just brings it around. It looks a little weird, but again, if you're kind of having it like this, it doesn't look too weird. It's a little wonky. I can kind of get away with it if you kind of have them like kind of huddling in with it and like holding it on the side, going for a run. Maybe blocking some guys off, running for that touchdown. So you can get pretty creative and make it look a little more natural, but it does still look a little weird. And the 5mm post also really doesn't do anything. With this figure, he doesn't have any weapons to hold. What I think would have been a better idea is if they had the football actually peg into an open hand that was designed around the football that had a peg maybe in the center of the palm. That way it would work with the football better and look more natural, because you don't really need the cross compatibility with other Transformers weapons, because you're not going to bring a gun to an NFL game. You're not going to want to win the game just by killing all the other players. Probably not going to work. But jokes aside, we have one more beautiful accessory, which is just the mouth guard and actual parts of the webbing, I don't know what they call the part of the helmet. Pretty much only for the helmet mode. You can store it, as I showed earlier, onto this little peg here. Would be careful plugging it in because there's a lot of paint around it, and that stripe would be kind of sad to chip up, but there you go. That just stores there. So, and then this also is a separate piece. Just tabs into that little spot right there. So let's take this guy off here, like so. It's pretty well secured. But yeah, this always worries me about these panels here, because there's a bunch of panels scraping, and you got that nice pinstriping. You would not want that to chip, because that would not look great. So that kind of worries me, but so far so good. Moving on to kind of articulation for this guy. Let's start at the head. You can't look up, but you can remove the helmet. Just kind of comes in the little clamshell. And then you can see his little... get this focus. There we go. Come on. Get in focus, little head. It does not want to focus on it. But anyway. Let's see here. Yeah, no, it's not focusing, but it is a nice shiny dome. It's very glossy, unlike a lot of the other figure where it's more of a matte or semi-gloss. That's just a fully glossy head, so it looks a little kind of out of place. Even in real life, it's just a little too shiny, but that is cool nonetheless to have a shiny head. And then that just can clamp right back on. It does have a head swivel. It is on a ball joint, so you get a little bit of wiggly waggly. Can't really look up though. But yeah, let's get this helmet back on properly. There we go. And then at the shoulders, we have a double hinge here for the little shoulder pad, or just kibble. Full 360, it's just a ball joint, as what all ball joint things do. Really can't go up that far, which is probably a little bit limiting for some football poses. 90-degree bend at the elbow, and then just the inward bend for transformation. At the waist, we do have a beautiful waist swivel, and we got some ab crunchy crunches goodness. It's a pretty nice one. You can do some good crunches, work out those abs. Yeah, he's got a hefty ab crunch. More for transformation, but still helpful for posing nonetheless. Also, at the hips, we can kick up a little past 90. Going back, a little less than 90. Coming out, we can do the full splits and a little bit more. Maybe he should have picked a different sport. Look at the flexibility. And then coming to the thighs, we have just a thigh swivel. Does what thigh swivels do. Nice knee bend, not too crazy. And then a ball joint and a hinge at the foot. And then if you want to count this little part as a articulation, yeah, go for it. So that's pretty much it for the robot mode, human mode, Packer player mode, whatever you want to call it. Pretty cool. He's definitely on the Ghibli side, but it's kind of charming. It looks pretty cool too, and the color scheme is on point. It looks awesome. So now for a transformation with this guy, pretty fun. It is a little panely and Ghibli, and things do have some clearance issues, but it's not so bad once you kind of get used to it. We're going to work my top way down. So starting, we're just going to fold in that beautiful hand, and then we're going to double hinge this whole assembly up, rotate this, and then push this all the way in. And then once you're transforming it back, you want to make sure this little tab actually lines up and recedes in that little gap when pulling it back in for robot mode. So now we'll just push that back out and then kind of shimmy it in until that tab is connected. And again, we can worry about it more as we go on too. But for now, just kind of get it about where it needs to be. Again, push this in, grab the hand, fold it up, bring this out, straighten it out, and then just get it close enough. We can fiddle with everything once we get a little bit closer. Okay, next, what we're going to do, make sure the waist is straight. We're going to untab that from the back, and then move this up, and then kind of swivel this back down and recede it into there to give enough clearance for this beautiful noggin to get slammed into this chest cavity. Now, with the helmet on, sometimes it doesn't want to go in the greatest, especially if it's a little bit loose on the head. But once you get it, it stays in all right. For the sake of my sanity and filming this on camera, I'm just going to remove the helmet and put the head back in. But it's totally doable to keep the helmet on and have it in there. But it just makes it easier to do on camera. So next, what we're going to do is push this part up and then make sure that this is tabbed into the back of the torso. And then open this up, fold this down, bring this back, make sure that's all clammed into place. And it doesn't have to be perfect right now. We can fiddle with stuff later. Stuff's going to come untabbed anyway. So just kind of get it close as you can. And then this is just on double hinge. Bring it up past the arms. And this is where you kind of have a little clearance time. And then you kind of just fiddle with it and just get everything together. And then kind of leave it here for now. Now we're going to work on the legs. So just fold that heel in, bring her up, and then just do the same on the other side. And then fold that up like so. And then this is just a little double hinge, and then it will recede that little peg into there, just like that. And you'll hear it snap, and it will stay in place. And then just rotate this piece until it comes together, and that will be flush. And just do the same thing for the other side. Swivel this around. Okay, get in there. And this whole transformation with this thing is just kind of fiddly. It's simple, but it's just kind of tricky. to get everything to line up just right. So you just kind of mess with it and then work with it till it gets to cooperate. Once you get everything going, it should be pretty smooth. And then just kind of accordion the legs, fold them up, and tab the whole leg assembly together. And now we're pretty much there. Now we kind of just smush the ball and kind of mess with it around. And then it should, there we go, all go into place. And just kind of tab everything together. Like, there we go. And then sometimes the leg part does not want to go in all the way. So just kind of move it around and then get her in and just kind of smush it into a ball. And then it's perfect, but it's missing something. So let's take these extra pieces and make it not miss something. So you can just put these on. You can do them separate, or do the white piece first and then put the green piece over. But I find that's not super necessary. You kind of just bend the plastic to the pegs anyway. You don't need to have them separate to get them both on. But once you get everything tabbed in, it's not so bad. And it holds together extremely well. You can throw this at a wall and it's not going to do anything. When this thing is together, it's together. And you have a nice little helmet mode. It is a little chubby, I will admit. It's kind of big in the front, but it's still cute nonetheless. And it looks really nice. And there's a lot of nice detailing, or just kind of shaping more of, yeah, you can just see all around. It looks really nice and clean. A lot of the contours that a real helmet would have. And looks really convincing and beautiful. So, we also have this little football left over. Now, where would we store the football? We would put it right where the mouth guard would go. So the player putting the helmet on is going to eat the football. He must be one with the football. It is a little tricky to get on there. Sometimes it's hard to line up. There we go. But again, just uses that same little peg. And now the helmet is eating the football. So there you go. You can have that going on if you want. But I'm going to take that out because it looks like crap. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this guy. I will mention the easiest way to get this thing transformed back is to start by taking all this off and then just kind of pull on the legs down here and get this part untabbed first. I'll kind of show you what I mean because it is kind of tricky. And the first time you do it, where it's kind of crisp yet, it can be a little challenging to untab everything because this thing locks together so dang good. So yeah, just take this part off. Take this part off. And then what you want to do is just pull right here and then just kind of wiggle and then untab it. And then do that for both sides. And then you have this undone and then you kind of unfold everything from there. But this is kind of like the tricky part for getting it undone, is trying to get this back out. But yeah, now I'll have everything back together. And there we go. Now he's all transformed with a little bit of movie magic. And we'll give my little thoughts on this guy. He is definitely worth picking up if you're a Transformers fan that loves the NFL. I would get one of the 4 out. Obviously, get this one. This is the best team. If you're a Packer fan, get this. It's pretty freaking cool. It's a great novelty item. And as an overall toy, it's pretty solid. It's really fun. Now, I do want to show one more thing. I also got this Fox Sports little mecha robot Green Bay Packer guy. I got this many Christmases ago. I don't know exactly the brand or what this is from, but it is a rubbery plastic. And this guy is a lot cooler than this guy because he's a lot bigger, but also he's more posable, and I just like the design of him. But he can't transform. Thought I'd show this guy off. It's quite fitting. I've had this guy for absolute ages, and I love and adore this thing. But anyway, coming back to the little guy. He's definitely worth the pickup, and I'm sad the Packers lost the way they lost this season to the stupid Bears twice in the same way. But anyway, that has been it for our video review, and see you guys later. Peace out. Stupid Packers.